Johnny Tong can mesmerize snakes into submission. He can also send them squirming through his nose.
At one point, it was lodged somewhere in between my eye and my sinus.
This man isn't just getting tattooed, he's getting tortured. A grueling 5-day tradition that could cost him his life. When the invisibles approach, terror strikes. Because if you don't give them what they want, they'll put a curse on you. Synthetic seawater, non-stick sand, and picture-perfect waves. It's the beach attracting the world's top surfers, and it's all indoors. Unbelievable? Believe it. On Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Welcome to Ripley's, home of stories you can't imagine and people you won't believe. Here's one for starters. Alani Alo is in living hell. And for the next 5 days, the manhood of this 25-year-old lies in the hands of this artist, a traditional Samoan tattooist. It's an ancient rite of passage that some are not strong enough to complete. Others have even died from the trauma. Since he was a child, Alani has dreamed of someday adorning his own body with the ancient imprints of his ancestors. Traditional markings that will be embedded into his skin from his abdomen to his knees.
My manhood is going to be tested. If I am going to be able to endure the pain and the agony of being tattooed the Samoan traditional way. In many ways, it's a test for myself.
Before the ritual begins, Alani is surrounded by village elders and his mother. His sister, a medical doctor, stands by.
I'm very nervous, but I can't wait for that first tap.
But with the first tap, Alani's carefree excitement turns to torture. Implements made from the tusk of a wild boar puncture his skin, embedding blistering ink made from kerosene and ash. Even before the first line is complete, Alani is overwhelmed with agony.
It's a very dangerous thing. It's got very high risks, and I believe it is dangerous.
Several hours pass. Alani is now beyond the point of no return. At the end of the first day, the suffering continues as the fresh wounds are scrubbed clean in salt water. Despite the precautions, just hours later, Alani is rushed to the hospital by his sister.
He actually developed a fever last night, and I'm a bit worried about that. It means that he's got an infection already. In the coming weeks, I'll have to monitor him and make sure that he's okay, and continue him on his antibiotics.
The next day, with a terrible fever, Alani continues. Samoans believe that their tattoos live forever, providing protection in the afterlife.
It's a treasure for life. When you pass away or you die, with the tattoo, that's the only thing you can take.
If unable to withstand the torment long enough to finish the tattoo, Alani, his family, and ancestors will be disgraced. For this reason, quitting is a last resort. By the middle of the second day, Alani makes no effort to hide his pain. Those present know his agony all too well.
I wish it was the first hit on my back. But he never stopped and said, well, you asked for it, you got it.
After more than 10 hours in 2 days, the tattoo is beginning to take shape.
I've never experienced this pain. There's so much pain. It's like you've been stabbed. It's like a needle goes in the flesh and it plays inside the flesh.
Delirious from his ordeal and without the crutch of painkillers, Alani drifts in and out of awareness.
It takes away the essence and the meaning of going through that pain and the whole suffering and agony of going through the tattoo. But, the mind over matter kind of thing, that's another thing I found out. It eases the pain.
At the end of day 4, the young Samoan needs help just to walk. His spirit is wearing thin.
Last night, when I went home and there was something on TV and I could hear 2 sticks banging on each other, I was so disturbed. I was really angry. I didn't want to hear the sticks. I just wanted to rest.
By the 5th day, the end is within grasp. In all, Alani has suffered more than 24 hours of torment at the hands of the tattoo artist.
I'm just about to finish. But the last 4 days of my life, it's been the most difficult pain.
Immediately following the tattooist's last blow, elders, friends, and family come to share this sacred moment. Alani has completed his spiritual journey, a combination of joy and relief.
How do I feel now? I'm very, very proud.
From this day forward, in the eyes of his family, tribal elders, and community, Alani is now a man. His wounds will soon heal, but beneath his skin, this sacred tattoo will be a part of him forever. There's more in the Ripley's warehouse than meets the eye. Like these one-of-a-kind insects called Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Unlike the roaches you find under your kitchen sink, these insects are only found in the forests of Madagascar, an island off the coast of Africa. Now imagine stepping on him with your bare feet. But this creature here has developed an early warning system to make you keep your distance. Works for me. Now, if you want to see something really amazing, watch this.
Roger Dumas loves to experiment with bikes. So when he was asked to supply the bicycles for the family's big reunion ride, he knew how many to bring. 1, with enough seats for 55. Roger actually began building this unique cycle 20 years ago. Using mostly junk parts, Roger started adding seats onto the family tandem and never stopped. It expanded through a number of incarnations, both in size and decorative motifs.
Okay, let's give it a shot and see what we got.
When we were younger, this was just a toy. Yeah. Now it's a mighty big toy.
140 feet and 8 inches.
Yeah. Prior to the reunion, this toy had to be transported in sections from Roger's home in Florida to Maine. In order to assemble the bicycle in time for the ride, Roger was dependent on help from his family.
I've never seen all of us, especially since we have been married and on our own for the last 20, 30 years, to really get together and do something as a family unit.
I'm having fun, so what the heck.
In the end, the finished vehicle featured parts from over 150 bikes and even a second level. That's over 400 feet of chain, 3,000 pounds of frame, and of course, 55 seats. Putting it together quickly required some of the trademark Dumas family resourcefulness.
Absolutely no drafting, no calculation. It's trial and error. Get ready to get on the bike! We could hit the pedals and the thing fall apart. You know, the possibilities there, we don't know. Go!
The original plan was to travel nearly a mile. However, when you're transporting 8,148 pounds on a bicycle, things don't always go as planned.
Hold it!
Our problem is for a second, I think we was going a little bit too fast, and we tried to stop up front here. We had 1,000 pounds in roughly, 10 feet here? Too much.
The bike ride had come to a premature end. Not wanting to ruin the big reunion, the Dumas family pulled together and got the bike back on the road.
Might have had some minor problems, but nothing major.
Despite mechanical difficulties, the Dumas tribe managed to achieve some unique accomplishments. Aside from being the longest bike and the bike with most individually seated passengers, the ride featured 5 generations of a single family traveling over the greatest distance. Relatives ranging in age from 3 to 76 managed to ride an amazing 3,236 feet and 6 inches.
As we were coming down the road, I kept thinking, for my little girls now to see this, and my oldest one was so proud saying, you know, I rode on Pepe's bike. It's great.
And I think that's the best part about it. You know, the memories that we're going to be able to have and share with our grandchildren and their grandchildren.
And that's all a father can hope for.
Keep going, we got the record! We did it!
Still ahead, killer waves, flawless weather, the seaside paradise where everything's always perfect because this beach is inside a building. Plus, the man turning his pet snake loose inside his head. And hundreds of these mini masterpieces can fit on a human hair. But you may already have an entire gallery hidden in your home. It's all ahead on Ripley's Believe It or Not. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Ripley's found an unbelievable beach that has 10-foot waves, 50 lifeguards, and where 10,000 swimmers can lie in the sand. But don't bother with the sunblock because this swimming hole is found indoors.
Welcome to the perfect beach. The weather's always a sunny 85 degrees. There's absolutely no chance of rain or jellyfish stings. It's a day at the ocean as you've never imagined it. Indoors. This is the Ocean Dome near Kyoto, Japan, the world's largest water park under one roof. This virtual paradise has adrenaline-inducing water rides, beachfront restaurants, boogie board lessons, and an endless parade of scantily clad tourists.
今から楽しもうかな。天候がね悪いです最近ね。だからここやったらもう天候の心配しなくていいから、いつもここ気に入ってますけど。
The beach features the latest technology, including special no-stick sand made from crushed marble and 15,000 tons of synthetic seawater.
はい、楽しんでます。
Australian pro surfer Matthew Pitts searched the oceans of the world looking for the perfect wave. Unbelievably, he found it indoors, created by a machine.
This is the only one, I think, in the whole world where you can get a barrel, which is what every surfer dreams of, is paddling out, taking off with no one in the water, getting a tube ride, paddling back out, and have the wave pop up at the very same spot again, and just do that all night long.
Matthew liked the surfing here so much that 6 years ago he went back to his Australian homeland, packed his bags, and moved to Japan. Today, he's a surfing instructor at the Ocean Dome.
This is the central control room of Ocean Dome.
This brain center controls every aspect of this high-tech ocean. The water temperature is kept at a constant 75 degrees.
Environment inside the dome, it's really hot. It's like you're in somewhere tropical.
The ceiling, opened only on especially sunny days, is the largest retractable roof in the world. It is made up of 4 independent arched panels that weigh a total of 700 tons.
The most important thing of this whole place is the wave machine. I think the people who get most excited are the pro surfers. They come here and they're like a kid in a candy store.
And unlike the real beach, here the surf's up every day of the year. Over 1 million people visit the Ocean Dome annually at a cost of $24 per person. But for locals faced with a polluted coastline and the region's bad weather, it's a small price to pay for a guaranteed perfect day.
Spend any time at a Caribbean resort or on a cruise ship, and you'll probably end up in the limbo line. But the limbo is more than just a tourist dance. In the case of this next story, it's an amazing example of human coordination and athletic skill and perseverance.
Raising the bar is usually how you separate the good from the great. But for one man, lowering the bar is how you stand out from the crowd.
There.
This rubber man's ultimate triumph, maneuvering his 5.5-foot body under a 6-inch bar. Dennis Walston knew as a kid that he wanted to be an entertainer.
My focus at that time was to become a famous tap dancer. I wanted to be like Sammy Davis, Mr. Bojangles.
But the tap dancer's life changed forever with one single word.
Limbo! Even friends that I went to school with said, oh, you're 35 now and you want to be a limbo dancer. It's just not going to work. You're nuts. Something's wrong.
In spite of his friends' criticism, Dennis decided he wanted to be the best in the world and go lower than anyone had ever gone before.
It took me about 5 years to reach the 6-inch mark. Passing the bar from my knees until I got to the rib cage was fine. But then there is a specific technique that one must use once they get to the rib cage.
We went to his physician, Zephyrin Villaluz, for some insight into Dennis's amazing moves.
Understandably, the more lean the person is, the more flexible they can be. The less body fat the person has, the more flexible they are.
That's where I want it, right there.
You are about to witness just how limber this 55-year-old man really is as he prepares to squeeze under this pole just 5 7/8 inches off the ground, the lowest limbo ever attempted.
I'm looking forward to it myself. I gotta do it.
Not only will Dennis be trying to clear the bar at a record-breaking height, the rough surface of the track is actually making this more difficult for him to slide on the sides of his feet and guide his body under the bar. Dennis struggles to keep his balance while at the same time concentrating on clearing the pole. Only a few more inches to go for the record. He's done it.
Yeah.
Dennis has successfully completed the lowest limbo in history, a feat he hopes will stand for a long time, despite his doubting friends.
Do not let negative friends tell you what you cannot do. If you believe what they say, then you'll never do it. It's really about believing in yourself.
Dennis has never been hurt doing his act, but he did catch his hair on fire once while performing the flaming limbo.
Next, Dr. Mark Hostetler has a lot of guts, bug guts, and he can ID any insect by the way it splatters.
Color, texture, you can actually tell the sex by the splat alone.
Plus, they strike mortal fear into millions of people. Now, Ripley's reveals this mysterious cult's sinister secrets. And the blindfolded granny using her own family to take target practice. Amazing stories and unbelievable people. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Bombay, India is home to a once secret subculture believed to have mystical powers. They are so feared that people give them money to avoid their curse. These feared individuals are called the Invisibles, but they can be seen roaming the streets at any hour of the day.
You wouldn't know it at first sight, but this harmless-looking person can cause panic on a busy intersection in Bombay. This is a fertile stalking ground where people called Invisibles walk up to an average citizen and demand money, or else she will put a horrible curse on them.
When they spit on you, they extort a lot of money from you.
As a result of this power, they are able to live life comfortably.
It's a commercial business for them.
These are the invisibles. What looks like a she is actually a he, neither a transvestite nor a crossdresser, with an ancestry that dates back centuries. Today, they are reviled.
I just don't look at them.
But in the 8th century, they were revered. Eunuchs were castrated men, ideally suited to guard the bedchambers of queens and royal harems. In fact, they were so valued, they were even given money and land. But today, eunuchs are a cultural phenomenon in India. The term itself has become a catch-all word that describes men who have been castrated, born with genital birth defects, or possess an ambiguous sexual identity. These outcasts often end up living in the streets in small groups led by a guru. Ghulam is one such guru.
ये बात ऐसी होती ना, हम लोग आप बोलते सही है, जब भगवान को गुस्सा नहीं आता। ये बात क्या है, जो हमारे पिताजी बोलो या हमारा अंकल बोलो या हमारा ग्रैंडफादर बोलो, इन लोग ने पहले कोई गलती की होंगे जब लगे भगवान ने हमको ऐसा पैदा किया।
Most people in India believe that eunuchs have mystical powers because they don't waste their energy on sexual endeavors. Locals believe they can make bad things happen. This perceived ability to place a curse of bad luck on your head is what generations of eunuchs have used to survive. Whether a citizen is blessed with good fortune or cursed by bad luck depends upon how much money the person hands over. Though the invisibles say they can't get regular jobs, some eunuchs have been hired by collection agencies to intimidate business owners into paying past due bills. Eunuchs also have other, even more sinister ways of making money. Shortly after the birth of this child, these eunuchs barge in for an uninvited but not unexpected visit to bless the newborn. Ironically, mothers consider a eunuch's blessing as powerful good luck for their babies. Although a eunuch's presence is enormously unsettling, they let them in. The eunuchs, of course, have their sights on the money they will get. But believing in their own mysterious powers, they sing, clap, and dance for the young mother and her newborn.
हम तो यही आशीर्वाद देते हैं बच्चे को, क्या लड़का हो या लड़की पैदा होती है, तो हम तो यही आशीर्वाद देते हैं कि बड़ा हो के माँ बाप का नाम कमाए, अच्छा रहे, बीमारी से बच्चे, बुराइयों से बच्चे, बस पढ़े लिखे, इज्जत कमाए, हम तो यही दुआएं देंगे ना।
Suddenly, the blessing turns ugly when one eunuch demands more money. She threatens to expose herself if a larger offering is not forthcoming. This coercive tactic is often used by eunuchs to force people into complying. In India, to be flashed by someone is considered to be one of the worst insults one can receive. But with our cameras present, Ghulam intercedes. Shabnam Mauzi recently made history by becoming the first eunuch to be elected to India's parliament. She says she represents the disenfranchised.
अगर ये विकास मुझे देते हैं तो मैं क्यों ना करूंगी, मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है दौड़ भाग करने में।
Today, a member of this extraordinary subculture can make a decent living. Incredibly, authorities say there are an estimated 750,000 self-proclaimed eunuchs in India, and they are slowly becoming more accepted and understood in this culture. So as the fear they wield diminishes, so will their lucrative mystical powers.
There's a big old bug splat on your windshield, and you can't even guess the kind of insect that got squashed. Well, Ripley's found a guy who can identify a bug by its splat. He can also tell you its age and even its sex. That's more information than I need.
Bugs. Scientists have gone around the world to study them. But this scientist is doing his research at the bus depot.
Buses have huge surface areas, and as they come into the depot, I have about 5 minutes to go up there and collect a number of splats.
Dr. Mark Hostetler is an authority on bug splats. In fact, he's been studying insect guts for nearly a decade. That annoying gunk you can't wait to wash off your windshield holds a slew of clues for Mark, whose technique depends on properly categorizing the goo.
What I have done is divide the splats in terms of color, texture, the size. I didn't do taste or smell. You don't have to go that far.
Mark has become so adept at splat sighting, he can even identify things most experts couldn't on a living insect, like the insect's sex.
Horsefly. Now, there's an interesting case. You can actually tell the sex of the insect by the splat alone. Most species of horseflies is the female that bites, and so if a female hits your windshield, usually it leaves a large white smear. If it has a touch of red in it, it's the blood that the female had just fed on some animal.
He's also written a book, That Gunk on Your Car, which shows you the before and after. What happens to a bug when it collides with your car. But what really motivates Mark to spend so much time debugging buses is this: using bug splats to teach children about insects.
This is a honeybee here.
Mark takes his book and bugs to schools all around the country.
Easy bug, go back. Go back.
While live critters usually get the expected squeamish reaction, the kids are comfortable handling Mark's collection of dead bugs.
Here.
The splats help spark a higher interest in science and ecology. To see if you have what it takes to be a good bug splat spotter, try this short quiz. Here is splat number 1. Does the large yellow and black smear help you out? If you guessed honeybee, you'd be right. Try splat number 2. This insect is better known for crawling than flying. If you knew this residue was a roach, you're learning fast. Finally, this wide splat indicates a larger than average wingspan. Can you tell what bug it once was? If butterfly moth was your final answer, you're correct.
Butterflies, usually when they hit, they're very soft-bodied, leave a large splat, and they actually get drug up the windshield, so they're very long and skinny.
So the next time you take a break on a long trip, don't be so quick with the squeegee. Let your bug expertise help you amaze your friends, family, and fellow travelers.
There are 1 billion insects for every human being on the planet.
Still ahead, this construction worker thought he was taking a leisurely vacation to Africa, until one tribe crowned him as their reincarnated king. Plus, the amazing microscopic paintings popping up in homes all over the world. How you could own these high-tech masterpieces and not even know it. And this snake's head-to-tail trip through one man's skull. It's all ahead on Ripley's Believe It or Not. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
We've all heard about computer viruses, strange things that can find their way inside your laptop. Well, there is another way to get things inside your computer. Only these things are called art.
These are the chips that run the world, silicon chips. So tiny, they can fit on your thumbnail. So smart, they can perform hundreds of millions of calculations per second. And they're as common as furniture inside your own home. They're in your TV, your VCR, digital clock, your telephone. And besides performing your most tiresome tasks, they have a secret. Deep down in the labyrinth of switches and pathways, in the microscopic city streets of a silicon chip, is hidden art. At least some call it art. Others call it doodles or even graffiti.
It's a very exciting treasure hunt because you don't know what you're looking for and you don't know what you're going to find. And you don't know what kind of chip that you may find it on.
Michael Davidson is the world's chief silicon sleuth. Technically, he's a research scientist at Florida State University. But for the last 5 years, he's become obsessed with the hunt for digital doodles. Those wild, weird, and sometimes silly images that designers have secretly etched on a layer of the computer chip.
It's sort of like collecting baseball cards or beer cans or whatever you want to collect, stamps or coins. I collect silicon graffiti that I find on computer chips.
Michael's treasure hunt started purely by accident. He'd been photographing nearly anything he could put under his high-powered microscope. DNA, beer, vitamins, even moon rocks. He discovered stunning images. But then he tried photographing chips, and that's when he found art on a silicon canvas.
I'd spent all morning trying to get the right photograph. I was having a lot of trouble with it. Couldn't get the lighting right. I was just generally having problems with the microscope. When all of a sudden I noticed something on the surface of the chip that seemed a little bit unusual, out of place. A day later I came back to take a look at it and I still didn't understand or recognize what it was. When I went to a little bit higher magnification, it appeared to be a character. At even higher magnification, I realized it looked like a boy with glasses.
Michael had discovered the answer to Where's Waldo, that elusive hero from children's books. He was on his chip, and that was only the beginning.
It wasn't a couple days later when I discovered another one. That was Daffy Duck, and it was on the same chip and not far from Waldo. I'd been photographing this chip for probably 6 months, and it had missed these things. They're that small.
How small are they? 3 Waldos will fit in the width of a human hair. By finding Waldo, Michael had stumbled onto a secret in the computer industry, microscopic graffiti known to few but their artists.
One of the first ones we discovered after Waldo and Daffy was what I thought was a pig, but it wound up being a chow dog, and the designer who put that on there did it to commemorate the life of his chow dog who died while he was designing the chip.
Cartoon legends like the Roadrunner and Dilbert abound. And you'll find film stars and spacecraft and a zoo full of animals.
I found a tennis shoe, we found the Norse god Thor, we found a Pepsi-Cola commercial, we found roaches hidden on these chips. We found a little slogan that says, if you can read this, you're too close.
And you'll also find that almost every microchip image has a story, like this cheetah designed for a fast chip. That was the work of Willie McAllister, who also designed a dog and a hydrant for a chip called the 1A Canine. When he started designing more than 20 years ago, chip art was strictly clandestine.
No, we didn't have permission. We weren't supposed to do this. It's almost the same emotion that you have when you see an expanse of wet concrete. You know, what do you want to do? You want to go up and fill it with something, and it's usually your name.
So who knows how many artists are still waiting to be discovered? After finding 250 images, Michael is still on the hunt. Today, he's got his hands on an old East German memory chip, probably from some cheap calculator. And the chase is on. After hours and hours of sleuthing and stalking, Michael has caught his game.
Hey David, come take a look at this. What do you think that is? Ever seen anything like that before? Look at that guy. Is he juggling?
For the record, it's an Iron Curtain alien, and just what Michael needs to round out his Silicon Zoo. But it's hardly the end. The truth is, there may be no end for Michael Davidson.
It's the hunt. It's the intrigue of not knowing what I might find next week or the week after. And as long as I can keep finding chips that I haven't seen before, I'm going to keep hunting them, and I'm going to keep photographing any graffiti that I might find on them.
Enter Ripley's archive.
Robert Ripley, leave it or not. Leave it or not.
The year is 1932. Mary Hettinger is letting her granddaughters help her with her favorite activity, target practice. The 82-year-old woman is in fact a world-class gunslinger. The young women trust her enough to fire powerful handguns at close range, even blindfolded. This is because Grandma has won several competitions, so don't try this at home.
It sounds like a fantasy. An ordinary man on vacation in an exotic country actually becomes a king, ruling over almost 250,000 people. But this story is no fantasy.
Africa, a land rich with tradition, tribal heritage, and tourists. But little did this tourist know he would soon become an important part of its past and its future.
If you tell me tomorrow, you must give up your position in Ghana, you become a king in Holland, no way. So what I have right now, it suits me right fine.
It's very good. It's very good to be a king in Ghana.
Born and raised in Amsterdam, Henk Otte used to run a construction business with his brother, until an accident left him unable to work. At 43, his life had been upended, but little did he know just how radically his path would change.
I never even could imagine things like that. I go to Ghana only to enjoy myself and to have fun with the family there.
Henk's wife Patience is a native of the West African nation of Ghana. Recently, the couple journeyed there to visit her tribe. Immediately, Henk felt a mystical connection with the land and its people.
For me, the first time I went to Ghana, already it was my home. I feel home at once. Don't know why, but when I came there, I think I belong here.
At the time of Hank's visit, the Iwe tribe had been searching for a leader for 17 years, ever since their great ancient king died. That's when a witch doctor identified the Dutchman as the reincarnation of their late leader. And there was more. Not only was Hank related by marriage to the beloved former king, but according to the tribe's elders, he also shared many of the old king's personality traits. Amazingly, that's all it took.
Then her uncle called me upstairs very seriously. And I think at first something was wrong. And then he said, how would you feel if you become a chief or a king?
The question stunned Hank. He simply could not believe what he had just heard.
They told me, it is your destiny, it is your fate. This has to happen.
Hank wasn't sure he believed in reincarnation, but after a little encouragement from his wife, he accepted the position.
I said to him, you look great, and I'm proud of you. Everybody is happy with you, and do it. Be strong, and it fits you.
Hank was crowned in a formal ceremony and could be king for the rest of his life, as long as he serves his people. This transition from disabled construction worker to king of an African tribe hasn't been easy. In Ghana, there are strict rules regarding royalty. One of those rules even allows Hank to have more than one wife.
But I don't want to. For me, I have more than enough of one woman. She is all the woman I need and all the woman I can handle.
The Dutchman, who now leads a tribe of over 200,000 people in Ghana, is in charge of things like schools, clinics, roads, and water systems.
What I decided to do is, my first thing is now to help them with the rebuilding the schools. This is my first priority.
Hank's construction background comes in handy. Perhaps those witch doctors knew more than they let on.
I think we match together. So it is wonderful to be part of their culture, really. I see it as a great honor.
Hank's tribe was leaderless for almost 17 years. But that won't happen again anytime soon because Hank's son will inherit the throne.
Next on Ripley's. Johnny Tong wouldn't be hacking so much if he didn't have a snake up his nose. The head trip you have to see to believe. Next.
Ripley's has just about given up trying to explain why some people do strange things. Sometimes they just do it, and you have to just stand back, take a deep breath, and, well, take a close look. This is 28-year-old Hollywood native Johnny Tong and his 18-inch pet Florida tree snake, Moko. Johnny is a modern-day snake charmer, and what he is about to do will amaze you. Although traditional snake charmers train cobras to dance in baskets, Johnny lures his snake to enter his nose, where it slithers into his throat and out his mouth.
When I was a kid, I used to come out here. This was my playground. And I saw this one guy working with snakes. He was mesmerizing the snakes, and I thought, I can do that. And that's how I started.
Although Johnny had no interest in charming cobras per se, he was inspired by the notion that he could assert his will over such unpredictable creatures, in spite of the serious risks involved.
If it was to get into my throat and lodge itself in there, I could choke to death on the snake.
Johnny spent several perilous years training himself and his snakes to perform this daring feat.
At one point, it went up and was lodged somewhere in between my eye and my sinus, and I was actually like stuck up there. I lost him up in my head for a second, and I had to do a lot of, you know, that kind of stuff, like, and to get him out.
Los Angeles-based ear, nose, and throat specialist Dr. Gary Bellick is astonished by Johnny's unique ability.
I have never seen anything like this before. It is amazing that he is able to train the snake to make the snake be able to come out the mouth. The natural angle would be for it to continue on down into either the food pipe or the windpipe. There are several potential dangers, one of which is, of course, if the snake continues to go down into the larynx, the voice box, or into the lung.
Now, as Johnny begins, we caution you, as always, that this is not something you should try at home.
Well, I relax the snake. I somewhat meditate the snake. It's very important you don't stress the snake out. And I relax myself. I have to lick the snake before I stick it up my nose. I lick it for lubrication. I try to open all my passageways and my sinus canals. I just breathe really heavily. When the snake is inside of my nose, it's a little difficult to breathe. I have to really concentrate on breathing. When the snake gets into my throat area, I'll kind of like give it that kind of breath to kind of push him out.
Johnny removes the snake from his mouth, and he shows his appreciation with a kiss. Although he has risked his own health, his concern now is for Moko.
It's very important for me to relate with the animal. I love animals. I really do care about animals, and I would hate to see anything happen to my snake.
Next, these actual medical contraptions promise to cure anything, but all they really did was help swindle the sick out of their money.
One of these killed the president when it collapsed his lungs.
Think that's unbelievable? Find out what this device did to your head when we check in to the Ripley Vault. Next.
Devices like this phrenology machine were once marketed to a population starved for new technology. Phrenology is a now completely discredited pseudoscience where the size and location of the bumps on your skull were thought to indicate personality traits like destructiveness, secretiveness, even chastity. This so-called medical device was placed on the patient's head, and then it would vibrate and spit out a ticker tape reading of your health and happiness on a scale of 1 to 5. Unbelievable? Believe it.